So why do we want to use Bible stories for Bible engagement? Well, one day I was at a conference and it was pastors and teachers and leaders and missionaries from around the world. And we were discussing the importance of using narrative for the healing process. And the discussion was good, but we were talking around narrative rather than talking about how narrative can bring healing to the heart. And so without saying anything, I leaned in and I actually started to tell a Bible story. And I said to them, one day as Jesus was entering Jericho, a blind man, Bartimaeus, called out to him and said, "Son of David, have mercy on me." Now, I tried to say it passionately, but I had to do it quietly because I didn't want to interrupt all the other groups. And I ended up telling the story. And when I was done, one of the leaders said, "Wow, where did that come from? It was just so spontaneous. How did you do that?" And I shared with her, I'm trying to train myself in internalizing the Bible and not just memorizing it. And she said, "Well, what's the difference?" And I said, "Well, when I memorize something, it's here. But when I internalize something, it's in my gut. And what I have found is that when I do that, eventually it moves into my heart and it becomes a part of me so that I'm able to naturally see in conversations where I can pull out one of the Bible stories and make it a part of the conversation. And that God has blessed me in showing me over and over and how when I do this, it will speak to the heart language of the person that's listening. And this ended up leading to a great discussion on the importance of using the Bible stories and knowing the Bible stories well enough that we can use them in conversations. Well, the International Orality Network, it says that about 70% of the world's population would rather hear a Bible story rather than read it. And then on top of that, I learned at some point in my studies that about 75% of the Bible is actually written in narrative. It's written as a story. It is also about 15% is poems and music and songs. And so that makes up another 15%. So when we actually look at the structure of the Bible, about 90% of it would fall into the category of an oral strategy. It's meant to be spoken or illustrated rather than presented in a written format. Now, what blew my mind even more is I was studying on the Joshua Project, and the Joshua Project tells us that 10% of the world's population, that's all, just 10%, is willing to say that they're willing to go and tell someone the story of Jesus. And the sad part is that of the unreached, unengaged people groups, these are the people that have no one in their community that knows Jesus and no one in their community telling them about Jesus. That's about 1/4 of the world's population. 25% fall in the unengaged, unreached people groups. That I don't know about you, but that hits me strong. And I then read that right now with millennials here in North America, that if we are not doing experiential learning or discovery learning, they won't engage. They're not as interested. But when we do that, they will engage. And what they discover is that they have greater understanding. And that's exactly what oral strategies will do, is that they will speak the word in such a way or present the word in such a way that it draws the person in because it's engaging their heart language and it helps them to understand what they're hearing. I don't know about you, but more than ever, I see that the harvest is plentiful, but the workers are few. And we need to engage our communities and go and send with methods that will reach the people. And this is the reason why we need to use Bible stories as we seek to reach the nations. It's important to be in the Word, to be with Jesus, so we can be transformed. Shalom, y'all.